to listen to a predictable speech. Well, this will be anything but predictable. You see, I was not a top choice to be standing here tonight, but here I am. So I've written a few speeches during high school. They were pretty good, I think. Well organized, flowed smoothly, and everything tied in like a perfect speech should. Well, maybe it's time to shake things up a little bit and jump all over the place to drive you so-called speech critics crazy. You know, maybe I'll defy the predictable. Because this was never meant to be a perfect speech. And the last time I checked, it's supposed to be my words, not the words you want me to say. And if I had adjusted my speech, then it would have been yours. And you should be standing here instead of me. But you're not. You already had the chance to tell your story. Now this is mine. Sit back, relax, and listen closely, as you may hear some things that you've said in the past. Oh, and just in case you didn't read my TEDx bio, I am the unapologetic speaker. Have you ever felt like you grew up on a studio set with a scripted life where everyone was the same or wanted to be just like everyone else? Where everything is so perfect. Well, growing up in the Vail Valley, it's as perfect as it gets. It's the ultimate fantasy world where everything is flawless. With world-class skiing, restaurants, and hotels. And everyone is living the dream with their perfect houses, cars, and kids. You know, it's like every time when we see each other, it's good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What an amazing life. You know, they should really make a movie like this. Well, I mean, I guess they already did, in The Truman Show. Has anyone seen this movie before? With Jim Carrey? If you haven't yet, go watch it. You'll understand later. You see, Truman was raised on a studio set, in a giant bubble. His entire life was scripted, and yet he was the only one that didn't know it. Now, this movie reminds me of what it was like growing up in our perfect valley. Everything is so perfect, and everyone loves everyone. Right? Well, unlike Truman's perfect bubble, the bubble I grew up in is actually not so perfect. Well, that is if you don't conform to the fantasy world some live in. You see, not all of us fit that perfect mold. And what is it? Our hair isn't straight enough? Or we don't live in a nice enough house or drive a nice enough car? Or is it that we don't go drink with you, do drugs with you, take illegal diet pills so that we can be a size 0 to fit into those perfect Snapchat photos? Or is it that we aren't smart enough, phony enough, white enough, or those that are white are still not white enough? You see, growing up in this perfect bubble, it was and still is about trying to fit in, to be perfect. And within our perfect bubble, racism is like a dirty little secret most ignore, so that it doesn't tarnish the perfect illusion to the outside world. Would you believe that there are teachers here that will tell you, you can't write about race or racism because it's not really an issue here? Interesting. But wait, it's not an issue for who? Maybe if your skin was as dark as ours, you wouldn't be so ignorant to make that comment. Now, when I was younger, I never really understood race. We were all kids and we all just wanted to have fun together. But when we all started going to different elementary schools, some of us were labeled by some adults who would make comments like, "Why would you send her there? She's not going to succeed or go anywhere in life." Or, "There are too many Hispanic kids there. Our kids will fall behind." Yeah. In our perfect bubble, these words were repeated many times growing up. When kids hear these comments from adults, some start to believe that they really aren't good enough. And then there are others who really believe they are better for not going to a certain school. These words have stuck with me my entire life. And again, what makes you so much better? I mean, sure, there are always kids who are better students or better athletes, but does that really make you better than me? Than we are? I do my own work and you have someone else do yours. Does that make you better than me? Do your parents know? Or is it that I'm not an athlete? Is that it? I'll never understand what an athletic achievement is. It took me a long time to not believe these words that kept running through my mind every day. You have to be perfect like everyone else around you just to fit in with the cool kids. And I mean, it's weird. It's like you always stand out in a crowd or you're invisible and don't matter. Because you're not white or Hispanic, you just don't fit in with either group. But who cares about fitting in? I don't have to be perfect and try to fit in with one side or the other because I'm good with who I've become and won't look back and regret not staying true to who I am just to be part of a clique. I will not apologize for being boring as you called me, but it's funny, you hardly know me, but you were always quick to take all that my family had done for you for years. I am not perfect, nor need to be. Pretend to be. And I know that I'm better off for it. Now, I'm reaching out to all of the younger kids in this bubble to say, just be you, and let your voice be heard. If someone doesn't like you for who you are, how you dress, where your parents work, what your sexual orientation is, or any other shallow reason, they are not worth your time. We don't have to change for anyone at any time just to be part of a group. And we all don't need to be friends. But we all need to be more accepting of others, especially in such a small bubble. So let's stop the separation and the entitled attitudes. You are not better than us. Let me also be very clear that violence is not the way to have your voice be heard or to make a statement. Just like these past few weeks, we've had a school threat, multiple fights, damage on school property, and for what? Did that help you make your voice be heard? What did that accomplish? And neither is self-harm. Never let any one individual or individuals make you feel like you don't matter. No kid should be treated to a point where they feel taking their life is the only way out. I know that it's easier said than done, But you must find the strength to block out the haters, the doubters, and find your own path, because we all matter. Control our own futures, so stand tall and show everyone that you are somebody. Because even if you are only a clique of one, that's way cooler than a clique of shallow followers. Everyone needs to step out of their bubbles and say hello to someone from other groups every once in a while. Because maybe that little interaction will make a difference. Not only in someone's life, but in our community. You know, I never felt like anyone would listen to me in this valley besides my parents. So I joined the speech and debate team freshman year, even though I was terrified of public speaking. Throughout the 4 years, I never felt like I was being heard, and I was never taken seriously because the focus was always on the favorite kids. And to me, it wasn't all about winning. It was about being heard, being taken seriously, which after 4 years of speech, 2 night talk competitions, 2 state titles, and 3 trips to nationals, I'm still not taken seriously by some on my own team. Oh, sorry, I forgot. It's not about me, remember? It's about you. And that's okay. I don't need your help, approval, or support. I've gotten this far without it, and if it still gets under your skin that your favorites still can't shut me down, then I've done my job. Can you hear me now? Oh, and to those of you who look down on me for not going to a certain school, and to those ignorant adults who told me I'm not going to go anywhere, oh, I'm going.
Yeah! Woo! Woo!
And going where I want to go to college, not where someone else thinks I should go. And FYI, I also got into some of the many colleges your perfect kids got into and didn't get into. You know, the ones that are better than me. Imagine that. So, how was that? Did I defy the predictable? Okay. So, how do I end this? Well, I just want to tell everyone in here that we all need to get off our pedestals and you see, yesterday I was told that I need to change the ending of my speech. And I was actually going to get up here and tell you all the words that they wanted me to say. But I can't. And I won't. Because this was never meant to be a phony speech either. And remember, this is my story now. And sometimes stories don't always have to have a happily ever after. So instead, I'll leave you all with this. To those adults who make us feel like we are worthless, to those teachers who discriminate against their own students, to those parents who look down on other children simply because they don't look like their own, and to those administrators who have no idea what's going on in their own schools. I hope you all remember that